Yeah, here we are today. We're in Watertown, New York, and this is a military base here called Fort Drum, and this is the residence of where David and Hillary are living now. And what you saw there is Loretta is packing the car. We're getting ready to take a journey today. We're going down to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, where we're going to look at the Civil War battlefield. And so if you'd like to come along on this journey with us, get ready, and pretty soon we'll be on the road. There I see David is coming out there. Now there's, okay, David is waving there, and if you'll,
ready to go.
Okay, there we are. We're getting ready at this point here to go, so wait a minute.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, now here's Loretta. And we have now, David is getting a picture of this thing here, but now we're ready to head out. So if you want to go with us, we're on our way down to Gettysburg. We're going to view the battlefield today, so if you want to come along with us and take in the scenery, come on, and we're ready to go. So now we're going to head out down south through Pennsylvania and off to Gettysburg we're going. So come on, let's go.
Okay. Snow's hit, they groom those hills and do some downhill snow skiing.
Okay, what you're seeing right now is we're in upstate New York. We're traveling south on the Interstate 81, and we're just north of Watertown, and this is what the scenery looks like here in upstate New York.
It kind of looks like Anderson.
It looks like what?
Looks like the freeway near Anderson.
Yes, it does. It has very much similarity to what we have in California. Except that the scenery here, if you'll notice that here on this date of August the 25th, that it's green all around here. That's because you do get rainfall in the summertime here. Whereas out in California at this time of year, it's still everything is brown because of the dry weather, and the grass is going to seed. It's just about the opposite of what it is here on the East Coast. And what do we see up ahead, David, on that water tower there? What is that, Watertown?
That's the water tower and water supply up there. Keep all 24,500 people happily bathed. Carousel Mall out there, in the heart of downtown Syracuse.
Well, we're now in Syracuse, right?
That is correct. Town of about 120,000 people. And it's about halfway between Watertown, where we started this morning, and the border to Pennsylvania.
Okay, so it looks pretty much the same as all other towns of that size where the freeway passes through.
at Walter Reed?
Yes. This is the exact same route we take up until where I cut off of 81 onto Interstate 84 in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So 2/3 of the trip today will be the same way I went to Walter Reed.
So once again, we are now passing through the city of Syracuse, New York.
That'll do it. There they are on that side.
As long as we keep within the speed limit.
Doing okay. I had one of those really nice guy experiences. Oh, well, you guys were with us. I was about to say that there was only Hillary and I, but remember when we came back from Toronto? You know, this is a guy thing, but guys hate to have cars pass us. You know, we like to be the fastest guy on the block, etc., etc., etc. Remember that little Jeep Wagoneer that went flying past us on the freeway doing about 95 miles an hour?
Yeah,
And then later on at the toll booth,
yeah.
there he was with his engine blown, pulling over to the side of the road. That's a nice guy experience then. We call that do justice.
Well, they live and learn, I guess.
Yeah, they do. Machinery can only take so much abuse.
That guy was sick the next day.
Well, you betcha he was. Blew his engine.
As long as you
But
got oil.
We're still southbound on Interstate 81, and we're still in New York State.
About 60 miles north of the border of Pennsylvania.
About 60 miles north of the Pennsylvania border.
Yeah, but there's nothing you can do about it.
No, I just every night, every morning, one more day, I look up the road just to make sure no cars were coming in.
That's it right there.
Where is it?
On your left-hand side, that big blue sign says welcome.
Okay, just slow down as we go by so we'll pick it up, and I'm trying to
There it is.
just say, okay, we just crossed the border now, and we're still southbound on Interstate 81. We just crossed the border out of New York into Pennsylvania.
Heading to Great Bend and Susquehanna. We'll need one more 35-cent thing somewhere up here. I can't remember how far, but it takes two 35-centers to make it.
Get another 35 cents.
Well, not right now. I mean, we can get it later. But it'll be up here a little bit.
Okay, we're now southbound. We're on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. We're detouring around Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Heading for Wilkes-Barre.
Heading for Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Is that too much wind, Mom?
Oh, fine back here. No problem.
This turnpike ain't nowhere near as nicely built as the New York Thruway.
Isn't it?
New York Thruway is magnificent. too. I don't know, it kind of irks me, the idea of having to pay for a road that I already paid taxes to pay for.
It's just like the Golden Gate Bridge
I know.
and the Oakland Bridge.
Yep, the Bay Bridge. We've arrived at the Gettysburg National Cemetery.
Walking distance. As soon as you get to the visitor center, it's off. I say about maybe 500 feet.
Down that way, okay.
Gettysburg.
Yeah, we just arrived here a few minutes ago, taking a quick tour here, but we're going to come in tomorrow.
Yeah, there's so much to see here. I live close, so I know where it
Now, where would Lee? Where would he have been in the war?
This is the site of Lincoln giving his Gettysburg address. No, wait a minute. This is the actual site in the town cemetery. At the time of his address, this cemetery was not here.
Is it private people that
bulletin? I don't.
wonder where they come up?
I tell you, I
This
live
is a
in
monument built for the state of Virginia, and of course that is
Now here now,
Robert E. Lee on his horse that you see in this monument here.
a man I know who works for retired man who don't live in it.
Okay, what we're looking at now is the Pennsylvania Monument here, and what year was this?
1910.
About 1910. And on the bottom there it has a list of the names of everyone that served from Pennsylvania in this battle. Oh, okay, now we're looking at the Minnesota Monument. Over that would be to the...
That's this one right in front of you.
Okay, that's what I'm focusing in on now.
The trees behind them.
Yeah.
And then continuing down Emmitsburg Road. Am I going too fast? Because
No,
I'm going fast because I mentioned it. I'm just reviewing.
Fine, yeah, it's
Oh.
fine.
Okay. Then, see the tower in the distance? Okay. Confederate General Longstreet. Well, Sickles is moving out. Sickles, of course, is Union.
Right.
Confederate General Longstreet. His corps is out along Seminary Ridge. He's extending the line from the general vicinity of the tower down and across the field. Back there you see the Alabama line.
That would be the Alabama,
yeah. Okay. So, Sickles gets in, or Longstreet gets into position. He starts his attack with artillery. Okay, that is going to feed General Meade in that something's going on down here. Because remember, Meade had not given permission for this move. So Meade comes down to see what's going on. He sends General Warren, there's Warren, chief engineer, the little round top, to see what's going on. Warren gets here, he says, oh my, all here's some signalman, we got problems. So because he also sees the Confederates are coming. So he sends for northern troops to go up here. He positions himself about halfway down this southern slope where we saw earlier. They get there just minutes before the Confederate arrive. But of course they're here in time to hold the hill. More troops from both sides arrive. Don't change the outcome. But of course, the fighting is not just going to be on little round top.
Now we're standing here at the point here. This is the Union line from Cemetery Ridge, and this is the direction that Pickett was coming with his charge. And if you looked directly across the way in the wooded area in the distance there, that's where his army was charging from, over in the woods area and wooded area, coming this way, right across this open field you see in front of me. Now I'll bring in his. Oh, there you see. There you see the statue of Robert E. Lee's horse right there, and from that point there, Pickett's charge started out from there and headed this way to where I'm standing right now. And so his army come charging this way, but of course they failed to make it across, and they were turned back and repelled by the Union Army. And this more or less ended the battle right there. It was the day after that Lee finally gathered his men together, and he retreated out and made a retreat at night on the 4th of July. And his army then retreated south across the Susquehanna River and back into his home area of Virginia.
To your left, you'll see the direction that the Confederates came from.
Okay, that's over in this area here.
Correct.
Okay, we're looking a little bit to the northwest there, and that would be where the Confederate soldiers came from in that area, and this is where the battle started. And this is
Northern Virginia.
Yeah, the Army of Northern Virginia would came through this area here. Now we come to this intersection, and we'll.
If you look south of this intersection now, you'll see where they went towards.
Okay, but I can't turn around and look south. Now we come to the railroad crossing. We're crossing a railroad that's underneath us at this point, and this is where there were several Confederate soldiers taking cover along the railroad down below, and they were trapped there, and they were taken prisoner later by the Union forces.
They can go ahead and fade out or something.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, this is a Peace Light Monument area. This is the actual scene that General Robert E. Lee saw when he crossed over the ridge in the north of Gettysburg, moving into Gettysburg. He did not expect to actually find the Army of the Potomac sitting on the south side, but the soldiers initially engaged from this position, engaged in their field artillery battle, and on the first day, pushed the Union Army back through the town of Gettysburg, which is just through those trees you're looking at, and then back about a mile south of there.
Now I'm standing on a platform overlooking part of the battlefield from the north in Gettysburg. And what you're seeing here, this is looking due north, and I'm working my way around as a swing around the battlefield down below here as it turns to the east, and then on the south into the town itself. But in this area here, there were some Union soldiers that were in this area, but they all gathered up and retreated when the Confederate Army moved in. So they all retreated south of the town of Gettysburg down onto Cemetery Ridge, where the main battle was fought. This is a Motel Super 8, and this is in York, Pennsylvania. This is a motel that we stayed in during our visit to Gettysburg battlefield. And what you just saw there was Loretta going to get in the car. And we're just checking out now, and we're ready to leave now. We're going to head back up to Watertown, New York. So now the journey back is beginning. We had a nice day here in Gettysburg. One we'll always remember.
Well, now we're traveling through Pennsylvania. Just came out of the Gettysburg Valley, York, and Hazleton. We're heading into the mountains between Hazleton and Scranton, Pennsylvania. We got 53 miles to Hazleton.
We're 53 miles south of Hazleton.
South of Hazleton. Oh, Harrisburg is what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Harrisburg.
Today we have a clear day, just a few scattered clouds in the sky, otherwise very beautiful weather. We're at a rest stop here along Interstate 81. We're still northbound in Pennsylvania, and what I'm trying to pick up below there is a scenic area where there's a valley down there. You can see the green valley down below me there.
come the chows.
Oh, he takes him out for a walk.
Takes his chows out for a walk, yep.
They're beautiful. They are gorgeous.
Yes, they are. They're very beautiful dogs.
What
Boy,
street
they go
is
to the
this here?
doctor.
This is
Lewis.
Avenue. And we go down to Jackson Loop.
Okay, that's on out a little further, right?
It's right here.
Okay, we're turning on Jackson Loop.
And there's that big Harley Davidson parked in the front yard. There we are. That's it.
So now we are just back completing our trip from Gettysburg, and we're back to this is Jackson Loop here in Fort Drum, to the home of David and Hillary. So this will conclude this trip, and it was a very enjoyable experience, and hope you will enjoyed viewing this as much as we have in actually experiencing this trip.